Excellent.
Thank you.
Sorry, thank you for the kind introduction. So I think that we're going to have a fantastic panel today. Okay, we have two top leaders in agriculture, in Agritech, and basically the idea for the panel is really sort of to look at the challenges of the different of how Agritech is really helping. I would say the food supply is really helping sort of to develop those technologies that will ensure, I would say, a great level of food security in our humanity. No? So in order to start, I would love you if each of you could just make a brief intro of what you do and your businesses, because I think that they are sort of very complementary, and the audience would love to know a bit more about you guys.
Thank you very much. So I'll start, okay? I'm Pelayo Bolivar. I'm founder and managing director of Gurban. We are a vertical farming company based here in Madrid. We focus on local production to local markets through distributors, so that we can reach high-end customers like five-star hotels and Michelin Guide star restaurants. Apart from that, we are a very technological-driven company because of our background, and what we do is develop our own growing solutions, not only in shipping container farms, but also in any confined space that you can imagine. We can turn that into a growing space for any kind of crop, from berries, strawberries, all the way through microgreens, lettuce, or edible flowers. That's what we do right now.
Thanks first for the invitation of this panel.
Yeah.
My name is Aaron de Bernardis. I'm CEO and co-founder of NAC Solutions. We are a company, a software company, that we develop AI models to learn from the behavior of the crops using satellite image. After you learn from the behavior of this crop, of your condition, of your context, help you to take better decisions. At the end, every industry needs to reduce costs, produce more, be more profitable, but especially in agriculture, it's a human problem. You know, we know that the way that we produce food is not enough. The way that we produce food is not efficient. And what we are trying is to change a process in this old industry that we have been doing the same things during hundreds of years, to introduce efficient process to be more profitable.
Mm-hmm. So, as you can see, we have a super complementary panel. Pelayo will fit you, and Aaron will help you to make better decisions on your business. So that's fantastic. Okay. So then, based on that, and from your two sort of different standpoints, how do you see sort of I would say the biggest opportunities that sort of Agritech is now sort of developing for in really helping sort of agriculture and the food supply chain? What are those two or key trends that keep you excited?
For us, as an agriculture company, we believe that data-driven agriculture is a key trend that's going to go not only into vertical farming, but also into traditional farming. Farmers who don't use data right now, or who don't use sensors, who don't use drones, IoT, they tend to have much more elevated costs than the ones that we use them. Knowing or using these sensors, doing precision agriculture, let's say, as we do, where we can control each stage of the crop from seed to delivery, makes us know our COGS in a very detailed way, in a very detailed list way, and that reduces our costs and brings our productivity up. Now, just to give you an example, we can bring down, in microgreens, for example, we can bring cultivation processes down from 11 days to 6 days, just knowing or playing with light spectrums, nutrient deficiencies, pH, relative humidity in the air. So precision agriculture for me is a key trend that's not going to go forward in vertical farming, but in traditional agriculture, and that's something that Aaron helps with. And the second trend that I believe it's data-driven. All these factors that we play with, humidity, temperature, nutrients, light spectrum, all that data at my level of expertise, we can use it to play around with the different parameters, so we can get the optimal crops, the optimal times, optimal harvests, so product gets to our clients at its best moment. So that's
Just one question here. I mean, how you got into the precision agriculture? Meaning, when you were thinking sort of about potentially your first vertical farm, okay? I mean, at that point in time, you were already thinking of data, or I mean, just for people here in the audience, no? What was your journey towards actually sort of thinking of data?
So to make things short, my journey was, I don't know nothing of agriculture. Next day, I'm learning everything by making errors. No, so that's mistake. That means a lot of money, not thrown out of the window, but in learning how to do things. And once you start, I believe, once you start doing things and growing, so I started growing easy things such as lettuce, which has it's very sensitive to price changes. At least,
how do you combine lettuce and data? Tell us. A bit.
you combine it first of all on seeds. You can combine that on seeds. Where do seeds come from? No, are those seeds non-GMO? Are they modified? Are they pelleted? No, how much time does it take for them to germinate? No, then what temperature do lettuce need? No, lettuce is a very common crop, and there's a lot of literature on that. But I learned, first of all, I learned how to grow. Once I saw it grew, I started playing with parameters. No, these nutrients, not two-part nutrients, you could use three-part in hydroponic agriculture, but I started playing with, hey, let's play with 2 more degrees during the daylight. Let's play with more blue light instead of more red light, so it develops more color for purple lettuce. Yeah. So my journey has been first know how to grow, learn how to grow, and that means, let's say, a year, and after that you start learning that you can play with certain parameters, certain data that you can gather, and then you can use efficiently. That's also it's a challenge, but that's been my journey, and learning then what to grow. I don't grow lettuce anymore because here in Spain there are huge producers of lettuce that grow it in northern Spain or southern Spain, with whom I cannot compete in terms of price, okay, and changing, and my costs, which I know very detailed, up to the cent, I know I cannot compete in price with producers like Gota Viva in Navarra or Asturias or growers in Murcia, no? Okay. So, but with all that data, I know what I should grow and at what price, and with margins as low as 30% operative margins and up to 60%, which are really high in agriculture.
Excellent. Great for making that very clear. Aaron, what do you see are the key trends that really excited?
For me, it's all industry, and every area that you take in this industry, you can do better. You know, every area, as much as you do something small, the impact is huge. And I think that one of the new era is the try to find what we are going to do with the data. You know, one of the main problems that we saw when we start to work with NAC Solutions is all the growers have a lot of data. Honestly, like they have Excels of data. They have been saving the day of harvest. They have been saving the tons, the varieties that they have. They have been doing soil analysis, every 2 hectares. You know? But in the day of the day, they have only data. You know, and here the challenge that we saw in this whole industry is transform data to information. And this is the challenge that we are focused on, and this is, I think, the challenge to go from precision agriculture. That is something that we have been speaking the last 2 years a lot in this Agritech industry. But now the new trend is not precision agriculture, try to work with this data, is decision agriculture. Okay. It's transform this data.
From precision to decision.
Yes.
That's an important...
Yes, because I'm, as a CEO, if in my company have a lot of data, I don't want to see data. I want to know what I need to do tomorrow to reduce my costs in operations. You know, what I need to do in software tomorrow to be faster. You know, and for agro producers, it's the same. You know, it's okay. All these tools are beautiful: drones, IoT, satellite image. But all that we have been doing until now is generating more data. And if they have data and you came here and you give more data with satellites, with drones, with IoT, with sensors, and I'm speaking about big robots, it's just data, And what we are working is we need to take the technological industry. What we need to do is, don't worry, you don't need to do nothing. Just give me your data, and I will use my sensors. I will mix that, and I will do my touch magic. And in the end, I will learn of the condition of your crop. I will learn what you have been doing wrong, what you have been doing well, and I will learn the behavior of the climate. I will learn everything. But in the end, people need a final decision tool. And this is one of something that made me really excited to give a final answer, really easy to the grower.
But then, what's the key? I mean, so as an advice to sort of the growers or the people in the industry, what's the key to really sort of have this data going from just data to actually decision? So we were speaking before about normalization.
Yeah.
About even sort of bringing, I guess, standards for, hey, how do you collect the data? What X means? How do you define X? I mean, how do you solve the challenge? Because everyone may be sort of defining a specific term in a different manner, no?
Yeah. This is the first challenge that we have in this industry. It's normal. We speak with customers and say, no, to create a model, we need a bunch of data. And they say, we have years. We have information from 1980. and you say, yeah. But we not only need quantity of data, we need clean data. Because it's not about the quantity, it's about to be clean, Because if you want to train a model, an AI model, a machine learning model, if you put garbage, the output will be garbage, and the first step that we are seeing in the industry is that until now, people was saving data without any control. People put the day of harvest, run, the tons run, everything run, but now they are watching the value to have good data. Because you can create a good model. For example, I will put a practical example.
Yeah.
For example, if I want to know how much kilograms of nitrogen I need to put for this crop, for this variety, in this area, I must be sure that all the data that you have been using in the past is clean. Yeah. And this is difficult. Nobody has that, And now the companies is focusing now, when I start to work with companies like us, okay, the first step is start to clean data just to after create models. Because if we say, no, we have a model that we change your condition, final decision, that's smoke. And when you sell a smoke, you only sell one time, And the idea is to sell year by year, and we try to evangelize that first is clean data, after training model, and after take decisions, I think it's painful.
I completely agree with what you say, and I want to give two clear examples of what this means, what clear data means in the day-to-day operations of a farm. It's, again, I'm going to say that's not the same a control environment as ours, as open fields, that some of you may know. But at my level, for example, clean data or knowing what data to use means I have a specific recipe that, for example, basil needs high temperatures, 24, 25 degrees. Edible flowers need cold. Nutrient needs for each plant are different. Well, I could say electric Szechuan buttons, it's called electric flower, has specific needs. But after 2 years of gathering data or how things grow, how long do they take to grow, color of the leaves, light spectrums, I now have, based on that data, I have, you could say, a recipe that mixes nutrient levels, pH levels, light spectrums, temperature levels, hours of light that I give to the plants. And that data has given me the ability to design a recipe that allows me to have, you could say, 15 types of crops in the same space. And then with that, I could go to the next step, that would be to optimize the space for one type of crop. And you could say berries, for example, or only basil. So that's clean data. And then I was talking last week with a person that's into in the finance world, and they invest on traditional agriculture, on pistachio and almonds, and he told me that after lots of years, they thought that on summer months, which is hot, the growers thought that they needed to water double the trees, no? And they found out after actually gathering data and having good data, clean data, they discovered that they don't need to water double the trees, that those trees actually retain moisture much better when it's hot, and that they need to water even less on summer months. And that's based on
measure in good way.
Yeah, that's it. So those are two clear examples in the day-to-day operations that I think depict clearly what Aaron is saying, no?
Excellent. So, I mean, we have seen now sort of the new trends, new innovations, but what are the key challenges that you see now sort of in agriculture, in the food supply chain, that really sort of keep you awake at night? I mean, that sort of those things that you say, hey, that could potentially could really harm humanity. You know? I mean, maybe one or two challenges, and then how technology you're seeing that is trying to solve them.
In my point is a challenge for tech area, for product developers, and it's a challenge in the industry, you know, in the producers, you know. If we are speaking in the producers, something that I saw is the challenge is to have people ready to absorb technology. It's an industry that is not normal to find early adopters or people that can absorb deep tech or complex tech in easy way. You know, we are working in 28 countries, and one of the investment that we are doing now is we contract people in every country that we have just to help people to use our technology. We are creating, we are giving know-how to these companies just to absorb the technology. It is like if I buy a Formula One, I need to have a pilot that be able to drive. I have a license to drive, but I don't know how to drive. And sometimes in this industry, I think that the technology grew so fast in the last few years that we didn't have enough time for the agro industry to have enough person ready to absorb this technology. It's because work as a grower is not sexy, you know.
So then you would say that producers need to have developers.
No developers need to have.
What would be the profile?
I think that it's a agro engineer that understand technology, and the point is that they don't need people to develop technology. They need a bridge from technology to the farm.
To the field. Okay.
Yeah, and it's a key point now that the position is agro precision person in each company to be able to transmit all this information from this stage to all the rest of the growers.
So like a data-driven person that understands.
Yes. Understand data, understand the complex, because it's when you sit with this kind of company, they say I have, for example, I have this data of nitrogen, and you say, yeah, but this is in kilograms, this is in liters. Give me, but why? It's nitrogen, you know? And yeah, but you know, you need to have a person on the other side that speaks the same language. Yeah. And companies now are hiring a lot of people in this new position. Okay. We are helping. We have a customer, the third most sales sugar in America. If you go to a Starbucks and you drink sugar in Starbucks, we monitor this sugar. You know? And for example, it's a company that has 180,000 hectares. Alicante has 20,000 hectares, imagine. They create a position because we tell them.
Wow.
And it's a position just to be the bridge between technology and production. And this is a challenge for the grower area. Okay. You know?
That's a profile that's very difficult to find here in Spain. It's a profile that you could say that now we're starting to have degrees or masters that train people to be or to have this profile, but finding this profile in the local job market, it's really difficult. And you cannot, and there's something that you cannot do is take a regular employee that's in the day-to-day operations. It's not as easy as to, hey, just take this and learn it. You need someone that's deeply trained in how to manage this information, these sensors, no, to really understand and apply them to your day-to-day operations. No?
So we need to make agriculture sexier for engineers.
Yes,
no?
let's do it.
And let's do it.
I'm not paid to say this, but Universidad de Córdoba, it's really working. It's working really hard on giving the education to its bachelors on this area.
So you know where to recruit.
That's true. And what
in terms of challenges.
I find especially one that's food security and how to tackle it. So you all know the speech on world population growth, on water scarcity, climate change. And that's true, and you can believe it at some point or another, at some level, but it's true. And I believe there's a real challenge on bringing produce closer to the end client. No? So that's what we are doing. Just to give you numbers, our produce, since it's sown or taken from the soil to our end client, it doesn't take more than 15 minutes, 30 minutes. We are 15 minutes away from Mercamadrid.
Wow.
So that's our client. Then, okay, you can have another 30 minutes to the to Four Seasons Hotel, Ritz, or whatever Diverso restaurant, but it's no more than, it takes no longer than a day to reach out end client, whilst there are other products that we are bringing from abroad, and it doesn't make sense. So if we want to make a change, we need to favor local growers, not only in vertical agriculture, but in other kinds. Asparagus, for example, we were talking earlier of this example. We're bringing asparagus from Peru and from China with my deepest respects to these countries. I lived in Peru, but we have local growers in Guadalajara that cannot grow asparagus because they cannot compete with costs. And there's a challenge in bureaucracy, there's a challenge in actually having trained people to do things. And there's also no generational relief. No? So people don't want to work in this field.
And do you think that the growers from Guadalajara, with more data, with better decisions, could actually sort of manage to potentially lower cost and then compete?
I believe so.
Yeah, but we can do magic,
No, agriculture.
No, but yeah, absolutely. You are more competitive,
Of course.
In every industry, if you don't put innovation, you die, And I think that agriculture must have this innovation.
At some point, you need to have it if you want to compete. And that's very important. All traditional growers that I know, they don't know their costs of goods sold, COGS. They don't know that. You ask them, and they don't know how much they spend on nutrients. You don't know how much they spend on seeds. You don't know. They don't optimize something as easy as optimizing your seed provider. Hey, let's buy seeds in bulk. Let's buy this kind of seed. Let's buy these nutrients. Let's buy powder nutrients instead of liquid nutrients. Just what you can save in transport for bringing powder nutrients, it makes such a difference, no? Maybe also renewable energy, solar energy, using that to bring down your costs, at least for me, no? Electricity for me, it's a big deal. So, using that kind of innovation, it's not innovation, but it's each little thing reduces down your cost bill, and that makes you much more competitive. No, just not only, and then it reflects on the price. The same box I sell here at 11.70, and that's euros. That gives me 35-40% operational margins. On the Netherlands, we were talking earlier, they have to sell it at 17 euros.
Wow!
So they cannot compete with me in price.
And in terms of what you were saying, in terms of food security, I mean. If now sort of, unfortunately, sort of temperature is going to be increasing. I mean, more areas probably sort of with more problems in order to grow certain types of food. I mean, how do you see, for instance, applying that maybe to areas of southern Spain that now are sort of having sort of a problem? This area of food security, meaning sort of local food security. Any ideas about sort of?
Well, southern Spain is very developed in terms of what they call it the plastic sea, and they know how to manage. So it's greenhouse technology and how to cool down greenhouses. For example, right now you have 35 degrees Celsius outside. Inside the greenhouse, you have 45, 50 degrees. Nothing can grow there, no? But technology, in order to bring down temperatures, and to be able to grow throughout all the year, that's very developed. But if you want to play and really optimize what you grow and where, I think solutions such as vertical farming, which is it's still a way it has still a way to go in terms of costs, but you could benefit from controlled environments to grow like high-end products, which really need very specific characteristics in terms of climate to grow. No? I can give you a very clear example. We are sending product weekly to Doha, no? To Qatar, but it doesn't make sense. We should grow it there.
Yeah.
No, we should no, and also in Sweden or in the Faroe Islands. There's a guy who grows in container farms because he cannot grow anything there. 100 speed kilometers per hour air there, wind. You cannot grow anything there. No. So there are very specific places where you can benefit from this kind of agriculture. Almeria, you cannot change things.
Yes.
It works. It works. Okay.
Excellent. So listen, I mean, it wouldn't be a South Summit panel without speaking a bit about AI, no?
Yeah.
So how do you see AI sort of applied in your environment? Very quickly, we have just 3 minutes.
We have been using AI from the beginning. You know, now the trend is generative AI.
Correct.
You know? We are using machine learning to learn from the behavior of every condition. You know, and if we speak about the new AI that we are saying is growing fast. We think that the problem that we saw is the capacity from the other side sometimes to understand the product. Try to reduce this problem using LLMs just to ask the machine, okay, or ask to Nax. My idea is, okay, Nax, I will harvest this week, I need harvest this week 500 hectares. Which will be the right polygon to go with the machinery? You must go first in this and this and this order to produce more, you know? Okay. And I think that we are starting to use these prompts to communicate with Nax and reduce the friction in terms of panel dashboards and to easy questions and easy answers.
Okay. In our case, it's very, very easy, and it's done already. But actually, with AI knowing, with cameras knowing nutrient deficiencies on leaves, no, based on the color of the leaf, you can benefit, no, on what a plant needs at that moment. So, in our case, image AI, based on all the data that's being gathered and that you can input to the machine, you can know very fast what you need to give the plant: nitrogen, phosphorus, calcium, no, at each point. And that for us as growers, it's very useful in terms of reducing produce that we lose. No.
Then you have cameras.
We are starting to use it. We are starting to test that on edible flowers and also on some microgreens, especially on basil, red vein sorrel that's very sensitive, and in coriander.
Interesting.
Yeah. Nice.
And then, so those are pictures that then your models process.
Yeah.
To label them.
You actually get that data from third parties that tell you, okay, this yellowness on the leaf, it's a deficiency in this kind of nutrient.
That's amazing.
And then you can attack that.
Okay.
So but our goal is to have that in a full container. No? I told you we build container farms to have each layer of growing layer with cameras that can give you in real time deficiencies, or you are putting too much nutrient A here. So
and then ideally AI will tell you what you need to do, no, based on those pictures that you have taken.
Actually,
the decision agriculture.
The decision. Excellent. That's fantastic. So listen, hey, I just wanted to give a big round of applause to our panelists. Has been fantastic, and we're here all for food security. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.